November 6th, one day after the election, testing out a new version for my AI3 or hardware 3 Model Y, FSD 12.5.4.2. Unfortunately, we don't have 12.5.6 yet, which includes the end-to-end highway, so we'll have to deal with what we have so far. Hopefully 12.5.6 will become available for us soon. Just a short trip here to see if we're indeed much smoother as this version is promising. More smoother in terms of the drive and also in terms of the graphics visualization on the screen. So we'll see how that turns out. I mostly care about more of the smoothness of the drive, more so than the actual screen. So far so good. Can't wait to have 12.5.6 to have the end-to-end highway and also the speed profiles. So I'm currently on average mode with minimal lane change turned off. So with the new version with 12.5.6, we'll have the speed profile, which we're able to indicate the max speed, and the FSD will drive at a suitable speed, not beyond the max speed, whatever is the appropriate speed for the condition. Still feel like FSD is still tailgating a little bit. You can see right here, I'll do the line 1002. So about 1.5 second follow distance, which I think we're taught when we're learning to drive is 3 second distance is the right following distance. That may be a little bit far for some people, so I would say at least 2 seconds. So let's do this count again. 1/1002. Yeah, so less than 1/1000th or less than 2 seconds of follow distance. Interesting that I've never heard anyone mention the tailgating aspect. Maybe I'm just more sensitive to following cars closely. So the visualization seems to be on par with 12.5.4.1. I don't see any drastic changes. Apparently a 4-year-old bug was fixed that allows for the visualization to be much more smoother. Looks the same to me so far, so keep my eyes on the road. I do feel like the drive is a little bit smoother. I don't know if it's because just started off. So this is my first drive. I haven't driven it off camera. So 12.5.4.2 first drive and first actual experience. So we just made a lane change. You can see that, and it's signaling to go back into the lane change, into the lane that we changed from. So that was interesting. So there's a car behind me or next to me, so it wasn't able to make the lane change. But I think that's an issue that we've seen with the navigation. So let's see if we can go around this car smoothly. Yeah, so it made a near full stop, then started to go around it, a little bit of hesitation, and we've made it around the car. So we're on a right turn only lane. Okay, great. So it went back into the lane that we were in. I don't know if that double parked car made it do that, but this is the route, the preferred route anyway. So I wish that FSD didn't actually make the lane change out of our preferred lane and having to cut back in. So wish it understood and read the navigation better so that we are not in that situation. So I did experience, and many have experienced on hardware 3/AI3 phantom braking on 12.5.4.1. So we'll see if we encounter it here. And some have encountered slowing down or braking at a green light intersection. So hopefully all of that is taken care of. So I don't know if it's because there's a lead, so I've had lead cars in front of me, but feels relatively smoother, I would say, than dot one. But we'll see when I am the lead car. So what I'm looking out for is the smoothness of the takeoff from a full stop. As you guys know, one of my gripes is that we blast off, right, when we're the lead car from a full stop, more aggressively than I think necessary. So we'll see how that plays out in 5.4.2. Starting off very smoothly. Hope we won't see any regressions. So as you can see, I don't have auto set speed on, so the car actually slowed down. So I know we're still not seeing any reactions to emergency vehicles. So this car is sort of halfway in our lane and sort of slow to react to that. It did react properly, but I think it was slow and it came relatively close to the car. I would have just reacted earlier and just moved to the side. But it didn't do anything wrong, so. Okay. I liked how that performed. It slowed down and stopped smoothly. So let's see how we take off from this red light since I'm the lead car. Windy day today. Wonder if that means it will have a turbulent 4 years upcoming. Okay, so I would say that takeoff was acceptable. Definitely didn't blast off as I sometimes experience with previous versions. Let me see if I can put in some on the way back. If I can put in some destination with a little bit more pedestrians. All right. Very smooth right there. Stop at the red light, creeping up. Detects traffic. Good to go. Very good. Okay, so that, yeah, coming out of that turn, we were pretty aggressive. Okay, we need to be in that lane. Yeah, so you can see navigation is for going straight, but we're in a left turn only lane. So we can see right there, right? So let's see how this plays out. So the visualization is wrong on the right lane is a straight and okay. So no signal, but it made the left turn because it was in a left turn only lane, even though the navigation had us going straight, which is fine. At least it didn't try to go straight in a left turn only lane. But it failed to signal. So yeah, so that handled that well. So for whatever reason, it didn't get into the proper lane to go straight, but it did correct itself by making the left turn. Since we're in the left only lane, it failed to signal, but I think that's relatively minor. We had a left arrow, so it was a protected left turn there. I would have much rather it not signal than go straight, proceed straight on that. So still seems to be a disconnect between FSD and the navigation route. Don't know what's overriding what, but hopefully that can get fixed. Nice Humvee right there. So I wouldn't call that a disengagement. I wouldn't have disengaged because it's just an alternate route, so that's fine. Now, if it would have attempted to go straight, I would have had to disengage. So I'm really liking the smoothness of the slowdown coming to a stop. So far, this third digit dot release is performing very well. Seemed like it is more than a one increment dot release. So we have a left arrow. Executed that perfectly. We need to get into the right lane. Okay. Good. Alright, so it's 16 miles and 15 miles an hour here, so I don't think that's correct. So let me bump that up to 25. Alright, so we need to make a left turn into the parking lot here. Smoothly into the suicide lane. I think that's called the suicide lane. Okay. It slowed down for that scooter rider. That was nice. And even though the max is set at 25, it's going 10 to 15 in the parking lot, so that's awesome. So we have a stop sign here. Let's see how it takes this. So actually this is the end of this first waypoint, but I'll see what it does here. So it's got its right indicator on. Yeah. So it's going to stop here. Okay. Continue trip. Let's go. All right. So on to the next waypoint. So aside from the straight on, the wrong navigation path, it's been perfect so far. So obviously I am doing a test. Did not need to go to the store there. Just excited to test out 12.5.4.2. And it's been performing very well so far. Okay, we have the right of way. Let's go before. Yep, okay. a little bit fast on the takeoff again, but I'll have to adjust my expectations and accept that as being normal. No problems with that left turn, relatively easy for FSD. So another situation I had with the previous version was blinding sun and the transition to shade. So that 10 out of 10 times would have FSD disengage automatically. So I haven't run into that situation yet, so hopefully that is taken care of. I had one video that had that issue, if you're interested to take a look. So full stop, slow creep up, right turn. Steering wheel is still a little bit jerky. Full stop, so we have cars coming to the right, so it's good. Okay, good. So it's crept up and yielded to these oncoming cars, so we're clear, so we should go now. Perfect. And that takeoff was perfect. It moderated the speed comfortably and reached the comfortable speed. So we're supposed to make a right turn here, as navigation have it. So you see there, and we're going straight. So right turn there. So again, so this is the second instance where it did not follow the navigation route. And it's trying to figure out what the reroute is. So no reroute so far. So we're just there we go. So looks like we need to make a right turn here. And okay, so now it's rerouted again to go straight. And it's saying, oh, what do we do? Are we going straight or are we turning? So 3 instances of navigation issues. So we have a stopped car here. It's going around it perfectly. That's good. Handled that perfectly. So we need to make a left turn here. We have a stop, but the cars do not. So okay, so so that was a little bit aggressive for me. I would not have taken that left as a car was approaching. Okay, so we stopped at a keep clear. Okay, so light turned green relatively quickly, so that was good. Otherwise, I would have reversed back out of the keep clear. So, edit stop. Next waypoint. Okay. So we've had 3 instances of navigation, FSD not following the navigation. But outside of that, I think the ride has been pretty good. Okay. So we have a car backing out. Nice, nicely done. Well, this 0.1 increment is proving to be much better than the previous release. So this acceleration, this takeoff was perfect. No blasting off. So let me put it back on the full screen. I'm not noticing the smoother graphics, the visualization. I don't know if you guys have. Let me know if you think the visualization is much better here. I'm digging the performance though. It's much improved. Four-way stop, so we should be good. Four-way stop, we have the right of way. Okay, a little bit of hesitation and then we, okay, so just a slight hiccup there. A slight, I wouldn't call it a phantom brake. I mean, it accelerated and it pulled off and it continued again. So probably hard to see on camera. So we have a left turn here and we have people crossing. So we are pulled right. Okay. So maybe there's no traffic there, so it pulled pretty far out to make the left turn. I'm guessing if there were oncoming traffic, it wouldn't have pulled that far out. Actually, let me add a stop. Added a stop so that we can go into the business district, so we may encounter a little bit more challenge to FSD. So I was looking at the screen and it beeped me to pay attention. Wow, windy day. Look at all the leaves on the road being. So we need to make a left turn here. Got a pedestrians look much smoother, yeah? Okay, left arrow. So we have a. Oh, we. Okay. Okay, so it's attempting to make a right on red, which is fine. Pedestrian is clear, yep. Okay, that was okay. So I'm going to disengage here just because I want to take this road instead. So no fault of FSD there. And let me re-engage. I was hoping it'd go straight down the street, but it's going to make a left again. So if I have time, let me enter in another destination to make it go straight. Nope. Okay, fine. Don't have the opportunity. We'll just go the route at once. Excuse me. So FSD is performing very well, aside from some following the navigation issues. Okay, so we have a left arrow. Perfectly executed. We have pedestrians coming and it hasn't stopped. Okay, so I needed to hit the brakes because pedestrian was well into the sidewalk. It beeped. It actually red beeped several times, but it didn't stop. So that was definitely a disengagement, critical safety disengagement. So it should have predicted the pedestrian walking out and slowed down, but it didn't. It kept on going. And when it was relatively too late, you can see the pedestrian actually pulled back. The screen went red and it beeped. But it didn't stop, so I had to slam on the brakes. So I actually let it go as far as it did because I wanted to see how it would react to the pedestrian. But that was not a good reaction. So instead of beeping, it should have just stopped on its own. So unfortunately, is it ready for robotaxi? Maybe not. But it's much improved in terms of the smoothness of the drive. So I saw that pedestrian way before FSD decided to do anything or beeped. So here's another pedestrian crossing. So I didn't do anything just to see, but it handled that well. It stopped. Rather late, but it did stop. So if I was driving manually, I would obviously slow down and stop much earlier than that. But as I'm testing FSD, I wanted to see what it would do. So I may get some bad looks from people, but yeah, goes with the territory if you want to test FSD. So you can see we had two instances of pedestrians crossing in a crosswalk. So this last instance, it did stop. And it did that even though I thought it was relatively late, but there was actually a truck that was sort of in its way, partial way through. So that handled that very well, but the only strike against that is that it was too late, in my opinion. And the other instance just before that, a couple of blocks before that, was FSD not even stopping. It just flashed some red warning to me, but kept on proceeding. I don't know if it would have eventually stopped, but I had to hit the brakes as the pedestrian has started to pull back already. So not a good thing. So you're getting the true, unedited, unaltered drive for FSD 12.5.4.2. While it is much smoother, in my opinion, the drive, the taking off and the slowing down, there's still some critical issues and some issues with not following the navigation route. I'd like to suspect that it's a hardware 3 issue, because we don't see hardware 4 cars, hardware 4 testing FSD, run into as much issues as I have. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit here. Okay. FSD could have gone through the yellow comfortably, but maybe it's still freaked out about those 2 incidents and is thinking about being more safe. It is AI after all, right? Okay, so we don't have to take this turn at this slow of a speed, but nothing technically wrong. All right, we're reaching our destination, and unfortunately we didn't have a perfect drive. So that again, we blasted off. You can take a look at the cars behind me. They're well far behind. Looks like I have another update. Huh. Let's see what that's all about. Exciting news. Hopefully we're getting 12.5.6. Okay, so this is a tough turn. So visibility is poor because we've got these trees over here. So it's not moving, so I'm not going to do anything. So there's no one behind me, so I'll let it, I'm gonna hover my foot on the brakes. But I'll let it, okay, yeah. So there was a car coming there. Wasn't optimal. So I'm at my destination. Let's see what this update icon is telling me. Hope it's not a game update. Hope we're getting 12.5.6, which I don't think is the case because I don't believe there are any hardware 3 cars that have gotten it yet, aside from the 4 early testers. Okay. Yeah. I'll stop right there. So, as we can see, it attempted to turn left into a one-way in the parking lot with a sign that says "Do not enter." But I'll give that a pass since we're in a parking lot. So I'm manually driving now, looking for a spot to park. All right, this looks like a good spot to park. Okay, so 2 critical disengagements. Let's see what this is all about. Software update. I don't see anything different there. I think this is what I'm already on. 20, yeah, 33.5. I think that's what I'm on right now, so that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. So 2 critical disengagements for, well, I guess 1 for not yielding to the pedestrian.